Today's showdown brings together two trucks with totally different philosophies, and that's exactly why this comparison matters. On one side stands the 2025 Toyota Tundra, a proven full-size pickup built in America, engineered for traditional truck duties like towing, payload, and long-term durability, now supercharged by Toyota's iForce and iForce Max hybrid technology. On the other side is the 2025 Maxus Eterrorn 9, one of the first all-electric 4x4 pickups to land in Europe and other global markets, delivering dual-motor punch, serious off-road hardware, and zero tailpipe emissions. Gas hybrid brawn versus pure electric brains. Traditional frame-based toughness versus next-gen high-voltage efficiency. By the end of this film, you'll know exactly which one fits your life, your roads, and your work, without needing any extra research. The contenders, at a glance. Think of the Toyota Tundra as the reliable heavyweight. A full-size truck with a twin-turbo V6 in standard iForce tune and an available iForce Max hybrid that lifts torque to diesel-like levels. Max towing can crest the 11,000 pound mark when properly configured, with payload figures that keep it competitive in the class. Toyota couples that with a 10-speed automatic, rugged frames, and the familiar spread of trims, from work-ready SR to the trail-hungry TRD Pro and the leather-lined 1794 and capstone models. Inside, it's modernized with a giant touchscreen, wireless smartphone integration, and Toyota's latest driver assist suite. If you live where full-size trucks are king, the Tundra is a natural benchmark. The Maxus Eterrorn 9 takes a different route: dual electric motors, standard four-wheel drive, a big battery, and performance that would have sounded like science fiction 5 years ago. It sprints to 100 km per hour in under 6 seconds, offers a WLTP-rated driving range in the 400 km neighborhood, and, crucially for a pickup, claims up to 3.5 tons of braked towing in many markets. This isn't a lifestyle toy. It's a working EV with real truck numbers, plus a comprehensive suite of off-road modes and a safety rating from Euro NCAP that shows serious engineering rigor. 2025 Toyota Tundra. Full breakdown, design and presence. The Tundra's stance is wide, squared off, and unapologetically truck. You get a tall hood, an assertive grille, and fender forms that telegraph strength. Toyota uses a mix of high-strength materials in the frame and body for toughness. TRD Pro and off-road packs tack on skid plates, all-terrain tires, unique wheels, and higher clearance fascias to help the approach angle. In posher trims like capstone and 1794, chrome and polished detailing step in, soft-close tailgates and power steps appear, and the cabin transforms from work tool to road trip suite with acoustic glass and extensive sound deadening. Powertrains and performance. The standard iForce twin-turbo V6 already pulls hard, but the iForce Max hybrid is the headline. A twin-turbo V6 paired with an electric motor in the transmission bell housing, delivering 437 horsepower and a thumping 583 pound-feet of torque. That torque peak arrives low in the rev range, so the truck surges ahead with minimal effort. It's the kind of response you use to need a big displacement V8 or a diesel to achieve. The 10-speed automatic shifts cleanly and quietly, and in tow-haul modes, it holds gears longer for grade control. Properly configured, the 2025 Tundra can tow above 11,000 pounds and carry a payload approaching 2,000 pounds, depending on trim, bed, and driveline. Real-world numbers vary, but the key takeaway is simple. This hybrid is a workhorse, not just an eco-badge. Ride, handling, and noise. With its coil spring rear suspension replacing the old Leaf setup, the Tundra rides with greater composure unladen. On rough county roads, the rear no longer chatters over expansion joints the way some rivals do. Add a TRD Off-Road or TRD Pro package and you'll feel the tuning tilt toward control and heat management. Monotube or Fox dampers keep repeated hits in check, while underbody protection lets you crest ruts and rocks with confidence. Steering is direct for a full-size body-on-frame truck. The cabin remains quiet at highway speeds, especially on 20-inch or smaller wheels, and the hybrid system's electric assist smooths low-speed crawl, backing up to a trailer, and tight parking maneuvers. Interior, infotainment, and daily ease. Toyota's latest infotainment platform anchors the cab with a giant bright touchscreen, up to 14 inches, with clean menus, crisp maps, voice control that actually understands natural language, and standard wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It's the difference between a head scratch and a tap and go when you're juggling work calls, navigation, and playlists on a commute. Seat comfort is strong across the line. Supportive foam, robust bolstering without pinching, and ventilation and heat where fitted. Storage abounds, from a deep center console to smart cubbies along the dash. Families will appreciate multiple USBs, household-style outlets on many trims, and a rear bench that flips up to reveal a flat load floor. The overall vibe, a working truck that doesn't make you work to live with it. Safety and driver assistance. Toyota Safety Sense brings pre-collision warning, automatic emergency braking with pedestrian detection, lane keeping assist, adaptive cruise with stop and go, and road sign assist. Blind spot monitoring and rear cross traffic alert are common on higher trims, and towing-specific aids, like trailer merge logic and multi-view cameras, help keep long loads in line. The panoramic camera system is genuinely useful when aligning the hitch or dropping a wheel on a rutted trail. Toyota also bakes in connected services for emergency assistance and remote app control on many models. Ownership, efficiency, and resale. If you toggle between job site loads and long highway stints, the hybrid's efficiency advantage grows over time. While official economy varies by configuration, owners often see city driving gains thanks to electric assist filling in at low speeds. Toyota's reputation for durability and resale value remains a major part of the Tundra's draw. The iForce Max powertrain has already built a following among buyers who want stout numbers without diesel maintenance. Incentives, APR offers, and equipment bundles also make it easier to spec the truck your way without hunting for unicorn trims. Tundra. Pros. In plain words, the Tundra's hybrid torque is the star of the show, turning heavy trailers and steep grades into point-and-go jobs. The cabin tech is straightforward and fast, not gimmicky. Ride comfort is much improved over prior generations, and the ecosystem, dealer support, accessories, and proven reliability remains a safety net for owners who keep trucks a long time. Tundra. Real-world trade-offs. If you're chasing the absolute maximum tow ratings in the segment, some Detroit rivals may edge it on specific configurations. Big wheel trims can introduce more impact harshness over broken pavement than the 18 or 20-inch setups. And while the hybrid is efficient for a full-size gas truck, it cannot match the energy cost per mile of a well-planned EV charging routine. 2025 Maxus Eterrorn 9. Full breakdown, design and mission. The Eterrorn 9 wears upright, muscled styling with a modern EV face, a mostly closed front panel, aero-conscious edges, and a bed that keeps traditional pickup dimensions. Designers have clearly prioritized functional off-road geometry. The bumper corners are cut high, and the underbody protection is for real, not just for show. The overall footprint sits close to the mid-size to large sweet spot globally, with a long wheelbase for stability and a bed sized for 1-ton class duties. Battery, motors, and performance. Under the skin lives a dual motor layout, one up front, one at the rear, delivering a combined output that clears 320 kilowatts, or roughly the mid-400s in horsepower. Stomp the accelerator, and this truck will hit 100 kilometers per hour in about 5.8 seconds, a startling figure the first time you experience instant electric torque in a vehicle with this much ground clearance. The battery is a high-capacity pack, around the 100 kilowatt-hour mark in many markets, and WLTP range is quoted at up to roughly 430 kilometers per charge, depending on specification and wheels. That's plenty for most weekly routines, and more than workable for mixed commuting plus weekend chores, especially if you can charge at home or at a depot overnight. Towing, payload, and work capability. Here's where the Eterrorn 9 separates itself from earlier EV pickups that were light on work numbers. Maxus quotes up to 3.5 tons of braked towing capacity in many regions, aligning with common trailer standards for medium boats, enclosed cargo, or construction equipment. Payload varies by market and homologation. In several European specs, it's a little over 600 kilograms due to EV curb weight and tax classifications, so you'll want to check your local build if payload is your top priority. Still, the impressive tow figure and robust 4x4 running gear mark this EV as a legitimate work partner rather than a novelty. Off-road systems and control. Maxus equips the Eterrorn 9 with an all-terrain system that lets you tailor the power distribution, traction control thresholds, and brake-based torque vectoring for surfaces like sand, snow, mud, and rock. You can scroll through a wide palette of modes, hundreds of permutations according to the brand, to fine-tune behavior. Because electric motors can meter torque down to a single RPM, technical crawling is smoother and more precise than in many combustion trucks. There's no torque converter slip, no turbo spool delay, just exact, immediate control of each axle. For steep descents, the regenerative braking blends with conventional brakes to maintain a steady pace while preserving range by recapturing energy. Charging experience and energy planning. Living with an electric pickup is all about planning your energy. The Eterrorn 9's DC fast charge capability lets you top up a big chunk of the pack during a coffee stop. Exact times vary by charger power and temperature, but if you have access to modern 150 kilowatt or faster stations, mid-journey charging becomes practical. AC charging overnight at home or the yard is where EV pickups shine. You start every morning full and your per-mile energy cost typically undercuts gasoline dramatically. If you tow long distances frequently, your range will drop, just as it does in a gas truck. But the relative hit is larger with EVs, so frequent, heavy trailer interstate runs are where you must map stops carefully. Interior tech and everyday comfort. Climb into the Eterrorn 9 and you'll find a contemporary cockpit with a wide central display, a crisp digital cluster, and a user interface designed around large icons and logical menus you can poke at with work gloves. Because it's an EV, there's little driveline vibration, the cabin remains calm at speed, and acoustic isolation is competitive. Seats are supportive, with available heating and ventilation, and the driving position strikes a good compromise between command view and long-haul comfort. Storage is thoughtfully executed, and the bed houses multiple tie-down points. Maxus also touts extensive drive mode customization, allowing drivers to save their own presets for throttle response, steering weight, and traction. Safety and driver assistance. Euro NCAP has put the Eterrorn 9 through its crash regimen, and the results speak to a rigid body shell, well-tuned restraints, and effective active safety. You'll find the usual ADAS portfolio: forward collision mitigation, lane keeping, blind spot monitoring, rear cross-traffic alerts, and, in many regions, a 360-degree camera system to make tight urban maneuvers easier. Child presence detection and enhanced e-call systems are part of the spec in Europe, further proof that this platform was engineered with global safety standards in mind. Eterrorn 9, pros in plain words: instant torque, true four-wheel drive traction, and a towing number that matches many diesel one-ton rivals in Europe make this a credible work EV. It's quiet, clean, and easy to modulate off-road. For businesses with depot charging or homeowners with a level 2 wall box, the cost per mile can be dramatically lower than a comparable gas truck. Eterrorn 9. Real-world trade-offs. Payload ratings in some markets may be lower than you expect, reflecting curb weight and regulatory classifications. Fast charging networks vary by region. If you tow long distances, you'll need to plan routes around high-power stations. And because this is a newer nameplate in many countries, dealer density and parts availability can lag behind the big legacy truck brands. Head-to-head. What each does best: power delivery and feel. The Tundra's hybrid V6 builds torque early and surges through the 10-speed with familiar mechanical rhythm. It feels traditional in the best way. You hear the turbos, you sense the shifts, and you manage your momentum with the throttle and brakes. The Eterrorn 9, by contrast, makes everything eerily easy. Step into the accelerator and it simply goes. No downshift, no spool, no noise, just instant forward motion. In stop-and-go city traffic, the EV feels like cheating. On long highway pulls with a trailer, the Tundra feels in its element, with consistent refueling times at any exit. Towing and payload reality. If you tow frequently across long distances, the Toyota's combination of high tow ratings, predictable range, and quick refueling remains the stress-free choice. The Eterrorn 9 can absolutely tow serious weight, 3.5 tons in many markets, but sustained highway towing demands more planning and longer total travel time due to charging. If your towing is occasional and within regional distances, the EV's composure and low running costs may still win the day. Off-road capability. Both trucks can wheel. The TRD Off-Road and TRD Pro Tundras bring underbody armor, specialized dampers, and crawl control. The Eterrorn 9 brings something else: the granularity of electric torque. Picking your way up a rock garden with millimeter-accurate throttle is a confidence builder. And the multi-mode ATS settings let you tailor behavior to terrain in ways combustion trucks can't replicate. In deep sand or extended steep grades where thermal management can limit EV output, the Tundra's traditional cooling and gearing can keep it grinding for longer stretches without power derating. Cabin tech and ease of use. Toyota's latest multimedia system is simple, responsive, and integrated with wireless smartphone mirroring. It's the kind of interface you can hand to any driver on your crew and expect zero hand-holding. Maxus counters with a modern EV-native interface and a sharp cluster, with a focus on customizable drive profiles and clean presentation. If you value absolute simplicity and a massive US dealer support network, Toyota is the safer bet. If you want EV-centric menus and advanced drivetrain customization, Maxus leans your way. Cost of ownership. Fuel versus electricity is the core calculus. If you rack up city miles, idle on sites, and can charge at a cheap overnight rate, the Eterrorn 9's energy cost per mile will be difficult to beat. Maintenance on EVs tends to be lighter. No oil changes, fewer moving parts. Though tires can be a bit pricier due to weight and torque. For high-mileage long-distance towers, the Tundra's fuel stops are fast and ubiquitous, and hybrid efficiency offsets some fuel spend without forcing you to reorganize routes around chargers. Reliability, support, and resale. Toyota's long-standing reputation for longevity and resale is a major strategic advantage. Parts, accessories, and expertise are everywhere, and that matters when your truck is income-producing. Maxus is expanding, but in many markets its footprint is still maturing, and resale data for early Eterrorn 9 models will develop over time as fleets report back and secondary markets stabilize. Which one should you buy? Choose the 2025 Toyota Tundra if you tow long and often, want conventional refueling convenience, and value a deep dealer network and proven durability. You like the feel of a traditional drivetrain, gears working, turbos breathing, and you want a truck that can swing from job site to family road trip without changing the plan. The iForce Max Hybrid, in particular, gives you the punch of a big engine with cleaner, quieter manners around town and at the boat ramp. If you're in North America or markets where full-size pickups dominate, the Tundra is the easy default. Choose the 2025 Maxus Eterrorn 9 if you can charge at home, at work, or at a depot. Most of your routes fit inside a few hundred kilometers, and you want the lowest practical energy cost per mile with real truck capability. You appreciate the instant control of dual motor traction off-road, and you're ready to plan the occasional fast charge stop on longer hauls. You're also comfortable with a newer brand that's building out its network, and you want to be on the front edge as electric pickups move from novelty to normal. Both trucks are legitimately great, just for very different truck lives. The Toyota Tundra is your no-surprises solution. Set it up right, hitch the trailer, and go anywhere with minimal planning. It delivers the grunt, the confidence, and the comfort you expect from a modern full-size pickup, now with hybrid torque that makes hard work feel easy. The Maxus Eterrorn 9 is your change-the-game play. For regional routes, urban duty cycles, and off-road exploration, it brings speed, silence, and dramatically lower running costs, plus the satisfaction of tailpipe-free operation. If you're a long-distance tower or you live in a region with sparse DC fast charging, pick the Toyota. If your use case fits EV strengths, overnight charging, regional towing, mixed city work, the Maxus will feel like the future showing up early.